That was a fire hose of awesome, man. This has been tremendous. So what does Austin Becker do to dig into pain and solving problems with the client on a Zoom? We're on a Zoom. We've done our rapport. Hey, Betty, nice to meet you. Hey, I'm Austin. Yeah, I've watched your videos. Cool. Great to have you. Nice to connect. Okay. The next question or three is what are you trying to what's the Austin Becker?
Hey, Grady, tell me a little bit about what brought you to the call. I know, like obviously we talk a lot about IULs, retirement planning. Is this new to you? Is this something you've been looking at for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's new to me. I know I need to do something, but this looked interesting and I wanted to learn more about it.
Okay, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll give you like a 1,000-foot overview on how these policies work, why they work the way they do, and how you could possibly get one set up for you. First off, ordinary people like you and me can store money in a life insurance contract, accumulate growth following a stock market index, access that growth anytime in our life under loan provisions, tax-free. And when we pass away, it blossoms and pays out to our family tax-free. But in order to do this, you have to have a minimum amount of insurance based off your age, health, gender, and desired contribution amount. And so that's the key factor there. So based off of that, then I get into like hypotheticals. And so like that's it. Like you tell me a very basic, it's new to you. And then I go straight into explaining the benefits. And then I'll ask, does that make sense? Like right at the end of that, I would ask, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Is that like kind of what you watched on the videos? And they'll be like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I just don't know, you know, is this the best thing for my family? Is this, it seems new. Like, is this something that I should be doing? Is this trust? Can I trust this? I mean, what are you doing?
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's been around for decades. Should you be doing do you do a 401k or IRA? Do you have anything for retirement now?
Yeah.
Do you like that?
I mean, it's what all my friends at work are doing.
So you learned about it from your friends?
Well, the lady, it's a benefit for my company. So I've been contributing to it.
Yeah, no, I understand. So 401ks they were around, right? They started becoming mainstream in the 80s, around the same time that Universal Life actually came out. The biggest thing is obviously it's an employer sponsored retirement account. Now you all is a private account. Okay. So nobody talks about private assets, and that's what insurance is. A lot of people don't talk about the private accounts. A lot of people talk about the 401ks because they're usually not doing good, and they talk about them with their coworkers. So I'm not saying it's better or it's better for you, but let's take a look and see if it makes more sense, right? Because a 401k is taxed, it's going to be taxed in the future. You don't really have many benefits in regards to for your family and everything. But at IUL, like I said, it is life insurance first and foremost, but you're allowed to access your funds. They're not locked up until you're 59 and a half, right? So your 401k is locked up to your 59 and a half. You can't touch those funds without certain provisions, right? And if you do, you're penalized 10% for early withdrawal fee. And again, you've lost money in your 401k, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
More than I'd want.
But yeah, let's take a look. How much are you putting into your 401k every month?
Oh, I'd say 500.
500, just that a guess.
Yeah, about 500 right now.
Okay. So outside of that 401k, are you able to save any additional funds?
Probably maybe.
Okay, so like that's the biggest thing. Remember when I told you that the IUL we focus on, it's focused off age, health, and gender. We're minimizing the insurance because we don't want to pay for a ton of insurance. By default, that's a byproduct of a policy. But based off of whatever you could comfortably save per month, that's what we're going to set up the IUL. And we're going to look at the numbers. We're going to find out what the minimum amount of insurance is you have to have. So hypothetically, though, let's just say if you could save $1,000 per month into an IUL, based off your age, health, and gender, your minimum required cost or contribution is about $100. So theoretically, you put in $1,000, 100 disappears. You never get to see it. Your family sees it when you pass away because it buys your life insurance policy. The overfunded amount of about $900 goes towards your accumulation account. This is the account that's linked to a stock market index, such as the S&P 500, Barclays, NASDAQ, or something like that. This account only goes up in value, it doesn't go down in value, as it's not subject to market volatility. We only participate in market gains, and we lock those gains in every single year. That way we never lose money or principal on our account value. Over time, this account's going to accumulate wealth because obviously you only participate in gains. So you're going to have more money in a few years than you had yesterday. And then once it grows, you have access to those funds under loan provisions tax-free. Okay. But $1,000 per month, again, that was hypothetical. How much could you comfortably save per month if you were to set one up? And we'll look at one specifically for you, and I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Got it. So is that how you get their number? It's like, how much could you, it's hypothetically saved per month. It's kind of almost like when we're selling insurance, right? What can you comfortably spend each month on insurance in order, if God forbid the dishwasher breaks, but that you could keep. In this word is, instead of spend, it's save.
Save, yeah. How much
save per month towards your retirement? And you just kind of put it, you don't go income and back it out and go carve out.
I'm not worried about it. I only want to know what they can save. I'm not worried about any of their stuff. I'm not trying to solve their problem. Like I want them to be comfortable with what they're doing. And then from there, then we advance. Like, so I kind of jumped the gun with your retirement and stuff. I normally don't even get into that yet. I would have started prior to that but you started with a question like, is this good for me and my family? Most of the time that doesn't even happen because we already had the conversation that they're interested in IULs. But so what would happen is they would tell me $500 per month. I'd go into, and then we would do the illustration, and I'd be like, but in the illustration, I show them their minimum. And then I'm like, your minimum required payment is only 50. Okay. So understanding that the flexibility in your policy is between 50 and 500, what we really just designed here is your annual contribution limit. If we want to keep it simple, your annual contribution limit is 6,000 per year. Doesn't mean you actually have to put in 500 per month. Every month you can put in 250 some months, 750 some months, right? We cannot exceed 6,000 in a year. Okay. Do you see the most? And then we look at the illustration and we look at the numbers, and then we see the retirement. And then it goes from, are you contributing to any other retirement accounts or something? This is where you say your 401k. And then I'd be like, well, do you still plan on keeping that 401k, or were you looking at setting this up instead of the 401k? And then they'll answer that question.
So if I go, well, I get matched, I put in 3% and my company matches me 3%.
Okay. So are you putting in the match, or are you putting in more than the match?
About just what the match is.
Do you like the match? Do you think it's worth it?
I mean, it seems like free money to me, right? Isn't that how it works?
And that's what you think. Your business owner gets a tax deduction. You're going to pay their taxes in the future. We're at a historical low tax rate. And how old are you? Usually if it also depends on the client's age. I'll be like, hey, if you want to totally keep that 401k, I'm all for you keeping it. If you feel like it's made sense for you and you like that 3% match, and if it's comfortable for you to get that match, I'm fine with it. Do you really think it's free money? Do you feel like you're going to pay more in taxes in the future? That's up to you. And do you like your money being locked up till 60, 59 and a half?
That's all true. Yeah.
And then when they decide that, I'm like, if you want to keep that, I'm fine with it. And then, like I said, we're just going to add the additional funds here that you had. You had an additional 500 you could save. So keep putting the 500 in there. If you ever don't want that 401k, and if you want to position those funds and allocate those funds to the IUL instead, understand we can't do it because we put our annual limit at 6,000. We could leave more room in the policy, but if we leave room in the policy and we don't fill it up, then we're paying for insurance, which isn't a problem. It's just going to obviously have a lesser cash value because you bought life insurance for your family instead. But we could also have as many of these policies as you could get approved for. So rather you do something more comfortable with where you're at right now, $500 per month, and then on our annual review in 1 year, well, then maybe if we're not seeing the results we like with our 401k, because we realized it probably went down in value this year, and you still funded it, then we could revisit. We could possibly get you a second policy, or we could adjust this one. But most of the time, I'll just get you a second policy at that time, because again, I don't want to do anything that's uncomfortable, anyways, and I don't want you to go all in on something that's totally new to you.
Bro, you're a savage. We need to get you back on and do an illustration for us, because that was a fire hose of awesome, man. This has been tremendous. Can you, as we wrap it up, and I mean, guys, if you appreciate Austin, drop a AB in the chat below. Fill this chat up with some love for Austin, because this has been a masterclass on social media, lead gen, and right into just slamming objections, credibility, and taking control of the client in a presentation. But Austin, as we close out, what is some just as people that are getting up, going, and rolling in entrepreneurship and business, in life, You know, you and your wife, your beautiful family, like as you guys are progressing, what's some advice you have to close this all out to get them to go out there and chase their dreams?
Man, first off, if they're chasing their dreams, they better have a dream, and then they have to believe in it enough that they'll chase it. Because most people, I guess my biggest advice is just do what you say you're gonna do. Believe in yourself, like, right? Because most people don't. You want this dream, but you don't believe in yourself. So show up, do what you're going to do what you say you're going to do, create a plan, be consistent, be resourceful. Most people are not resourceful and they're not consistent. So many people are trying to blame everything, blame the problem, blame the product, blame this person, blame that person. Honestly, show up. It all works. I could sell term, I could sell IUL, I could sell final expense, I could sell annuities, because I would be so convicted that that's what I'm going to sell. And I'm just going to go find that problem. I'm just going to go find that client and I'm going to just solve that problem to the fullest extent and be like so convicted in solving that problem. But if I have a problem that I try to solve and then I'm like, I change that problem, and every like month or 3 months, I keep trying to solve new problems, dude, you're not even convicted in the problem that you're trying to solve, and you're going to get burned out. You're going to trying different lead sources, trying this, trying that. I'm all for trying and improving, but you can't improve something that you haven't done yet. So do something, get somewhere, get a baseline, improve it, and then eventually make pivots. Like, right, we did mostly all IULs, and eventually it went from IULs to annuities, right? Because it wasn't like I'm going to come out the gate doing IULs and annuities, man. Because then you have to try to, because then you, as the professional, you're like, what do I solve? What problem do I solve? Right? I'm trying to sell, like, because I'm trying to solve both. And then when you have too many options, and that's the biggest problem here. There's so many options that you're no longer the professional, and you're like a lot of agents and a lot of people, they try to leave it into the client's hands for the client to make the decision. But the client came to us to tell them what's the problem. So be consistent, be resourceful, lean on your carriers, right? Don't lean on other people to solve your problems. Like if you have a product problem, call the carrier. They have the best answer, not somebody else, right?
Awesome. Austin. Well, thank you. Thank you. This was fantastic, man. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. This is going to help a lot of people, and I'm just cheering you on as you continue to go out there and crush this business, bro. So
I appreciate it.
we'll have more fun to come. We'll have Austin back on here in the future and get him to do a full presentation, because I mean, he knows what he's doing. So I appreciate you, bro. Have a great day. Thank you so much, everyone. Go make it a great day. We'll more fun tomorrow. Talk soon, guys. Bye for now.